Shakur Stevenson tries to drag Jaron Boots Ennis down too. He tries to bring him up into the conversation and make his fight relatable to his fight with Artem Harutuyanyan. And we're not doing that. And I'm gonna explain why in this video. Let me take y'all on a journey. So Jaron Boots Ennis just beat and defeated David Avanesyan. He actually did it a round before Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford got the clean knockout. Jaron got the TKO because Avanesyan was swole up. Something was wrong with his jaw. Some people are saying it was broken, and I haven't been able to confirm that. But Avanesyan nonetheless was unable. His team felt he was unable to come back out. Jaron Ennis wins in the 5th round, right? Corner stoppage. So guess who jumps in the mix? That boy from Newark, New Jersey, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson claims that people were mad at how he fights, and now they're mad at Jaron Boots Ennis and his win over David Avanesyan. Shakur Stevenson, he says, and I quote, "You guys see it on the screen. I am the best in the business, and it's not even close. I give you guys the facts, and a lot of times I give it to you like this verbatim so you guys can see it, so you know it's real." So Shakur tweeted this after Boots' fight. "They mad at me for not letting my hands go. Now they mad at Boots for letting his hands go and getting caught with some shots. What the heck y'all looking for? The perfect fighter?" Crying emoji. This is why I say, y'all. I'm coming out victorious every night. I will step it up more, but it's a learning process, and getting better is all that I care about. Hashtag chasing greatness. Now, in my honest, humble opinion, Shakur Stevenson could have left that one in the drafts because it's cap. Big cap. Jaron Ennis, and this is a fun fact for those who may not know. He was born in 1997, June 26th, which makes him 27 years old. So keep that date in mind, June 26th. Shakur, the same year, was born June 28th. So they were born within 2 days of each other on the same year, which makes them both 27 years old. The reason why I'm saying it's big cap is because let's go over what Shakur said. They mad at me for not letting my hands go. Now they mad at Boots for letting his hands go and getting caught with some shots. Excuse me, sir. Who is mad at Jaron Ennis for letting his hands go? Right? Nobody. Listen, I hate when people try to have an argument, we'll say, and their argument is at the very least or at best contingent on the opinions of a few people, a minority of people. Maybe a few people were quote unquote mad at Jaron Ennis, but I didn't see anybody who was mad at his performance. So right off rip, what Shakur Stevenson is saying, that people are angry and trying to relate it and compare it to his fight, is cap. Jaron Ennis's fight was fun. Offensively, it was completely different and the polar opposite of what we got from Shakur Stevenson, because Jaron Ennis was putting together some spicy combinations. Body shots, wicked. This was a low blow, right, that you see on the screen though. But I'm just talking about in general. Wicked body shots, very nasty combinations, etc. So Boots was dazzling. The criticism that Shakur is referring to is the fact that in his attempt to get the stoppage, which he did get, I told you earlier in this video, corner stoppage, Boots got hit with some unnecessary shots. But for Shakur Stevenson to try to drag Boots down to the level and make it look like they share something in common is utterly ridiculous. There's nothing in common with Shakur versus Artem Harutuyanyan. If you go look on DAZN at the Ennis Avanesyan highlights and go read the comment section. Then you go to ESPN Top Ranks page on YouTube and look at Shakur Stevenson and Artem Harutuyanyan comment section, and you'll see completely different comments. The worst Boots fight that I seen was actually this fight, because this dude didn't really come to fight. Karen Chutney or whatever his name was. The fight with David Avanesyan was fine. Late replacement, and he won every round, chopped him up, got the stoppage a round before Terrence Crawford. So again, nobody's mad at Jaron Ennis. That just sounds crazy. And I hate when people do that as well with their argument, when they want to try to custom fit a scenario to make it look like the criticism that they've received is applicable to everyone when it's really not. Like, imagine Boxing the Ego on YouTube. I'm getting criticized for having bad audio, right? Imagine if I wasn't the man, I wasn't the best in the business, and this video you're listening to sound like crap. Say I didn't know anything about audio and how to process it and EQ it and things like that, and I was giving you guys distorted, horrible clipping audio, right? We'll just use this as an example. And you guys in the comment section are drilling and grilling me saying, yo, your audio is trash. Your audio sounds like garbage. Delete the whole video. I can't hear you. And that's my comment section. And then I see this and I get butthurt, and then I make a follow-up video and I'm like, man, what do you expect from these YouTubers? You trash everybody's audio. You say everybody, either it's the video quality is lacking or the audio is lacking. And then I try to make it, instead of it being a me problem and having some accountability, I try to make it sound like it's every YouTuber is going through this. But then you look at other channels, popular channels like Mr. Beast, nobody's saying that about his video. So me, I never struggle with this, because if it is truly constructive criticism that can help me get better, I am open to it, right? And it's nothing to get offended about, nothing to get defensive about. If your audio is trash, your audio is trash, period. So I hate when people try to make it like, man, you guys do this in Mr. Beast's comments. Nobody's talking about Mr. Beast. And I notice Shakur does this a lot. How much money you got? A lot. How much time you? A lot. He does it a lot, where people will be criticizing him specifically. He'll start bringing up dead and retired fighters. Oh, but Muhammad Ali took losses and he had performances where he had a broken jaw. Oh, but Floyd Mayweather, you guys said the same thing about. Nobody's talking about Floyd Mayweather, sir. They're talking about your fight with Harutuyanyan and you not being able to pull the trigger on a guy who was coming off of a loss, like legit coming off of a loss to Frank Martin, a guy you've also criticized. So the difference, another inherent difference with Shakur Stevenson and Jaron Ennis, which I reject the deposit. You're not going to make Jaron Ennis's fight sound relatable to your fight, because Boots, if you listen to him, actually listen to his interviews, he constantly says, yo, yeah, I'm not much of a talker. I do my talking in the ring. He literally says that in his interviews. He said he not really a big talker. We gonna see on fight night, and that's where he gonna show up. Shakur is doing the opposite. He's promising to knock out people and hit the quote unquote, the proverbial home run, and then he don't hit the home run. Boots is not talking about, or overly talking about, hitting the home run. And even if Boots Ennis did elect to do that, because he did say, oh, I'm gonna get the knockout, I'm gonna knock this guy out, I'm gonna knock Avanesyan out, Avocado out, right? He actually makes good on it. So nobody really cares if you do what you say you're gonna do. Like if Kobe Bryant says, these guys can't guard me, I'm gonna put up 60, and then he closes the game with 61, 65 points, even if it's close, even if he gets like 57 points, I don't think people would really sweat it. But Shakur's doing something completely different. And you guys are trying to make it. He has Twitterson on the back of his trunks right here. He's fighting a guy that, realistically speaking, may not be that many levels ahead of the competition in terms of like a David Avocado. They might be closer in terms of quality and tier than just in different divisions than they are far apart. It's not like Artem Harutuyanyan is this legendary Oscar de la Hoya type of character, right? And David Avanesyan was very durable. I have respect for David Avanesyan after the Boots fight, because Boots was putting a beating on him and he wasn't quitting or giving up, and he was firing back and shelling up and then trying to find counters in between the shots. So it made me respect his game more, right? So again, Shakur is trying to make this somehow relatable. Oh, you guys are casuals. Oh, you fans, you're going to complain regardless. And now let's talk about that as well, because the game of boxing is truly getting soft. The game of boxing is getting soft to the point where if you make an observation like Boxing Ego does, this is my channel, you're not going to stop the programming. I'm going to say exactly what I want to say and break down the fights exactly how I want to break them down. In my post-fight video, I said that Jaron got hit more than Crawford, and he got hit too much, and he has to shore that up. I've been a big fan and advocate of Jaron Ennis on the channel, and that's my honest opinion. You're not going to change that. I don't care what none of y'all talking about. This is my opinion. But boxing, the reason I'm saying boxing is getting soft is we're now entering this era of, if you don't say niceties and nothing but positive reviews, then they say you hate the fighter and this, that, and the third. Or like, I give Tank props because Tank is an awesome fighter. They'll say, oh, you glazing Tank. Oh, you riding Tank. How about I'm just breaking down what I'm seeing? And from the Boots fight, I like what I seen mostly, but I'm not going to overlook other elements, like he was getting hit by a limited David Avanesyan more than I would expect. He looked massively bigger than David Avanesyan. And here's the thing. You can't say that I'm wrong when his own father and trainer says you are getting hit with unnecessary shots. So I know I'm on point. You guys are just weenies. That's what that is. You guys in the comment section are weenies, and you want me to say that the performance was flawless and not compare and contrast against another person who is a barometer, which is Terrence Crawford. And again, don't listen to my channel. That's your only option. You can listen to what I said and disagree and keep watching, or you don't have to watch me. I don't really care, because my audience will find me. But I'm not going to change my assessment of a fight. And what Shakur Stevenson is saying is cap. He's saying that he trying to put Boots in the same boat because people had the criticism that he was getting hit a little bit too much, right? But it's not the same, and it's not what you're making it out to be, saying that they're mad at you. People are mad at Shakur. They're saying the fight was boring, and they're mad because you're over promising and under delivering. But to say that fans are mad at Boots Ennis is cap. And to further illustrate my greatness, Boots Ennis, he keeps saying the same thing. He's breaking down his own fight, and he's like, man, where's it at? I seen it on his story somewhere. Maybe it's the last one. Look, thank God for another one. Appreciate everyone who showed up, blah, 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 blah. And he says, I had a lot of fun. It felt great to be back in the ring. Glad I was able to knock some of that ring rust off. I can't wait to get right back in there. I know I wasn't my sharpest. So he just told you, this is Jaron Ennis. I know I wasn't my sharpest, but next fight, I promise I'm gonna be on point. So you can't get mad at people such as myself for having observations when his dad and the fighter, he's saying he wasn't his sharpest. His dad was saying he was getting hit. So people I seen in my last video, they were complaining, or my Boots breakdown of Avanesyan, they're complaining like, oh no, he go up. Bro, oh no, my ass. Bro, his own dad said it. His own dad said he was getting hit with foolishness. He's saying he was rusty and he felt off and his timing was off. But for Shakur to make it sound like people are mad at Boots is grossly mistaken. Nobody's mad. The point I'm making in driving home, and I'm gonna continue to drive home, is I respect the heck out of Terrence Crawford's fight game, and you can't be getting hit with silly shots when Crawford is a sniper, and David Avanesyan is nowhere near a Crawford level. So that's the only thing that I said. Now Shakur is making it sound like everybody is mad. Nobody's mad. They was mad at your fight. Nobody's mad at Jaron Ennis, but it's not gonna stop people like myself from making an assessment and making a realistic, because here's the thing. I told you in the video, the Boots versus Bud fight, it's still a great fight. I still want to see it. It's still a 50-50 fight because one could argue that Boots has a better chin than Terrence Crawford. The point I'm making is having that barometer and a 4-week trained Avanesyan, I thought Boots would have been even more flawless. I'm not mad at Boots. I enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed the performance. Shakur is saying, oh, you guys are looking for the perfect fighter. Nobody's looking for the perfect fighter. But to this day, Wilder voice, my favorite Boots performance is his fight with Roman Villa. That Boots looked unstoppable. So I expected a bit more of that, but perhaps hometown hijinks, being out the ring for a year, maybe he can tighten up and then go back to that form. So it wasn't that he looked terrible. He bashed up Avanesyan. He swole him up. Avanesyan's team felt they had to wave the white flag. It is what it is, but nobody is mad at Jaron Ennis. It's a simple, constructive criticism. You know, Shakur's making it sound like, oh, you guys get mad when a person doesn't let their hands go, and then you do get mad when they let their hands go. No. It's not that at all. It's just people have high praise for Boots, and people such as myself have put Boots up there to the point where I'm giving him props, saying I see Roy Jones Jr. in him. I want to see him fight Crawford, and it's a winnable fight. So to make a follow-up video, what I seen, I don't know that that's good enough to beat Crawford, just based on the defense, not the offense. The offense was amazing. Crawford, again, some people question his chin. So if he gets clipped with any of that, then Boots can definitely win. But I think that the sharpness, which Boots himself is complaining and saying that, hey, I could be sharper. So it's really not an issue. So I had to make this follow-up video because that's misinformation. Nobody, I can't say about Shakur. It sounds like people are mad, Cameron and Mace. Like, I guarantee you Cam and Mace ain't gonna go on their podcast and say they were bored and falling asleep for the Boots fight, nor is BOXINGEGO or anyone else. So Shakur trying to bring Boots down and make it like they're in the same boat is cap.